Hi everyone, it's Deborah Gregg here. I just thought I'd record a really quick walkthrough for you on how I prepare the pages in my journaling Bible before I do some Bible art journaling. I either use the Art Basics Clear Gesso or the Dina Wakley Clear Gesso. Both are really good, and I personally prefer, after trying lots of different ways of applying it with a paintbrush, with my fingers, with a sponge applicator, I actually like using an old store card. I find that a store card, a standard size, fits directly into the Art Basics Clear Gesso pot, and I've just trimmed a card down slightly to make it fit into the Dina Wakley Clear Gesso pot as well. So it's really easy to apply, as I'll show you, and it's really quick to do. So I'm just going to show you how I do it. First of all, I use a silicone craft sheet. You can use a baking sheet, a silicone baking sheet, or a laminated piece of A4 paper, or if you use card or regular paper, it might stick underneath, so it's best to have something that's a bit non-stick if possible. So just literally, it's, for those that haven't seen it before, it's just like white goo basically, a bit like white paint, but it dries clear. So just dip the card in, and starting from the centre, working out to the edges, just applying a smooth, even coat, being gentle but firm all the time, and just working my way down the page. This is my preferred way of doing it. There's lots of different ways. Different people prefer different applicators. I'm just showing you what works for me. I'm not too worried if I miss bits, because I tend to do 2 coats, just to be safe. But you just want to make sure there's no splodges. That's coat number 1. I'm now going to give you the pleasure of watching paint dry. This won't take a moment. I'll show you just how quick it is. This is just a craft heat tool. You've got to keep it moving because you don't want to scorch the pages of your Bible. I have actually had some sort of a couple of near misses with scorching my Bible before, when I got too close, when it overheated slightly. But actually it doesn't take long, just keep it moving. It will crinkle slightly, the page edges will curl slightly, but they will flatten out in time, so don't worry too much about that. There's always a bit that goes down the middle, but not to worry. Dry it off. That's coat number 1 all done. I'm going to go in for coat number 2. So same thing again, just pull that in, it's a bit slippy. And from the centre, working out to the edges. You have to be gentle because the page is very fragile when it's wet. But equally you need to be kind of firm and smooth with the movements as well. So there we are. You can use a hairdryer to dry it. I prefer my heat tool. There's less air blowing around, and I always try and lift it off of the craft sheet as well, so that it can dry around the edges. You can use a hairdryer. Sometimes I find my craft tool overheats and it cuts out. At which case, I do sometimes use a hairdryer. You just have to watch that the page doesn't flap about too much, because, as I said, it's very fragile when it's wet. But this is nearly dry now, and it literally has just taken me a couple of minutes to put on a couple of coats of clear gesso. It's also not very messy. I've literally got my card here, which I'll give a quick wipe. Quick wipe with some kitchen paper. If you do get it really gunky, you can put some back in. If there's too much on there, you can put it back in the pot, so there's no wastage. And I'm done. That's it. So that page is prepped, good to go, ready to do my artwork, confident that it's not going to ruin the other side, and it's just made that page extra strong. It no longer is quite as fragile as the other side. so it's just a little bit stronger, nice coating on it, ready to put to use my micron pens or whatever I want to do. So I hope that's been helpful to you. Thanks.